Welcome to Mr. Heaton's Math Lab, and in this video we're going to learn about simple algebraic properties and how to use that doing multiplication, addition, and subtraction. We're going to learn about 4 properties today, and we're going to start with the associative property. So when we mean associative property, we're saying that no matter the order in which you multiply by, you will get the same answer. Now you have to be multiplying and only multiplication. If you have addition or subtraction in there, it's not going to do it. So it has to be multiplying for all the values. So let's take a look. 2 times 5, you guys will know is 10. Times 1 is going to be equal to 10. Now is that the same here? 1 times 5 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, now let's take a look at a couple examples. We have 2 times 3. We know that that is 6. Now 6 times something will give us 12. So if we take a look at our multiplication table, we know that that would be 2. So 6 times 2 equals 12. But that also means that 2 times 3 times 2 is 12 as well. Okay, now let's take a look at this one. We have 2 times 2, which equals 4. Now 4 times something is equal to 12. Again, if we look at that multiplication table, we know that that is 3. Okay, so we have a 3 here. Now, we know that we have a 2 and we have a 3. Look, we have a 2, we have a 2. We have a 3, we have a 3. We have a 2, and we have a 2. So we can put this in any order that we want, and we will still be able to get the same number on both sides. So now let's take a look at over here on the right. We have 5 times 2 is equal to 10. Now 10 times something is equal to 40. And if we take a look at our multiplication table, we know that that's going to be 4. So we can put a 4 here. Well, look, we got 40 and 40. We're talking about the associative property. We got our 4 here, got our 5 here. So that must mean that we can put our 2 here. Now let's take a look at the commutative property. It is very similar to the associative property, where it just means the order in which you multiply two numbers or multiple numbers together will give you the same answer. 2 times 5 is equal to 10. 5 times 2 is 10. Now let's do a couple examples. So we can see that we have 3 times something will give us 12. We can use our multiplication table to figure out that that is 4. Well, take a look at this one right here. Well, we know we get the same answer, 12. We're multiplying by 3 to get something. Well, the only answer that could be is 4, right? The order in which we multiply by does not change the answer that we see. So let's do the same thing over here. 8 times something will give us 56. We use our multiplication table, that's going to be 7. And we could do the same thing, but we already know that 8 times 7 is 56, so 7 times 8 must also give us 56. Now let's take a look at distributive property. Now distributive property says that if we have a number, say 2, and we multiply that by 9, we can actually separate out two groups, where we have a group that is 5 and 4, which we multiply by 2 because 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. So we'll take a look at some examples that somewhat use distributive property so we can understand that a little bit more. So in this example, we have 2 times 2, which we know is 4, and 4 plus something is equal to 10. Now we're not multiplying, we're adding, so 4 plus something equals 10, and we know that that would be 6 here. Now if we had, say, 2 times 4, we know that that is 8, and 8 plus something would be equal to 10, which we know would be 2. Now if we take a look over here, we have 1 times 5, which we know is 5, plus something is equal to 10. Well, we know that this would be 5. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. Now 5 times 0 we know is always going to be 0 because we're multiplying by 0. So 0 plus something is equal to 10. Well, 0 isn't anything, so 10 equals 10. And lastly, we're going to take a look at identity property, which identity just means any number that we multiply by 1, it's just the value that we see next to it. So 2 times 1 will always be 2. We don't really look at the 1, we just look at the other value that we have here. So 5 times 1 is equal to 5. So let's do a couple examples. We ignore the 1 because we know that 4 times 1 is equal to 4. 1 times 8 equals 8. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 9 times 1 is 9. 7 times 1 is 9, right? We ignore the 1 and we only look at the other value, which will tell us what to multiply by. If you're looking to take your math skills to the next level, check out Mr. Heaton's Math Lab. We offer a range of resources to help you succeed, from free workbooks and Common Core assessments to focused mini courses and comprehensive curriculum courses. Head over to www.mrheatonsmathlab.com to get started today.